These long dog days of summer, I mean, we just made it through a heat wave. Mama was parched through this heat wave. I was hitting up Dunkin' every single day, and I will continue to probably for the rest of my days, but especially this summer. Dunkin' is helping everyone stay cool this summer with its lineup of refreshers. These drinks are packed with bold, fruity flavors and served ice cold. It's amazing. Dunkin' refreshers are the perfect afternoon pick-me-up. I like to start my morning with them personally, and then sometimes I go back for a second one because I'm just feeling crazy. They come in a variety of delicious flavors, including fan favorites mango pineapple and strawberry dragon fruit. And then for a limited time, there's black cherry and there's pink pineapple. I'm going to tell you something right now, and it's a bold claim, let me tell you, but I stand behind it. Pink pineapple will change your life. It is so good. It has me feeling like I'm sitting in a pool, resort side, just living, honey. It's so yummy. Try your favorite flavor with green tea, sparkling water, lemonade, or Dunkin's all-new limeade. I haven't tried the limeade yet, but I'm going to. Usually I get my drinks made with green tea and occasionally lemonade, but I do really like the green tea. Or if you don't want to build your own, try one of Dunkin's curated refreshers like the Cherry Lime Ricky or the Ultimate Pink Daydream. The Cherry Lime Ricky, scrumptious. I could drink like 3 of these a day. They're so freaking yummy. Head to Dunkin' today and find your favorite refresher. Dunkin' refreshers contain less than 1% fruit juice. Limited time offer. Chilling crime cases are mysterious, but finding coverage shouldn't be. With the State Farm Personal Price Plan, you have options and can personalize your plan to help create an affordable price so you can get back to cracking all of life's bigger cases. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can choose to bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Head to statefarm.com to get a quote. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
Hey, weirdos. I'm Ash. I'm Elena.
I'm Sam.
I'm Colby.
And this is Morbid.
Woo!
I always feel so weird when I look at the camera. I'm like, hello.
I know. I'm like, hey.
Hi. Thanks for having us on again.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming
Stoked to be
again.
back.
It's
Let's
been
go.
so long since we recorded that episode. If you're watching, it has been a very long time for you. So here we are. We can officially announce that we did a haunted investigation with Sam
Let's
and
go.
Colby. Another one.
It was sick.
Another one. It was so fun.
Yeah.
We
and
did.
completely unlike anything we've ever done before on our channel, too.
Yeah.
So
I love that.
You guys got a whole different experience.
I know that was
yeah.
such an honor when we actually sat down and you were like, okay, so this is what we're doing. And we've never done it before. I was like, okay.
Our first investigation with you guys, the USS Salem, was a very traditional thing, and a lot of crazy stuff happened.
Yes.
But this time, it was like, very, very different. Like, we were even kind of thrown off. Like, we're like, whoa, we don't even know how to do this.
Brand new
really.
concept.
Yeah. So we went to the SK Pierce mansion, and basically your whole, like vibe for the night was testing psychics.
Yeah, that's correct.
So how do you know these psychics? Like, tell us a little bit about the psychics, the whole shebang.
There were 3 of them.
Yeah, there are 3 of them. So our whole goal of this year, of 2025, was to try to kind of push the bar with ghost hunting. We've done a lot of the same type of investigations. It was really fun. Like, there's a lot of different stories. But we're like, what if there's just different ways to get answers? And especially in places like that have unsolved mysteries. You guys dive into that all the time. And there's ways to get answers on ghost equipment. But what if we could use psychics and mediums as our quote unquote ghost equipment, our tools to the other side? And so when we were brainstorming, we're like, that would be really cool to bring a psychic. Like, what would be even cooler? If we had 3 different psychics that use 3 different methods of communication, we see which one works best. And then also, what if all 3 of their answers line up? Wouldn't that collaboration like make it so much more believable if we did get an answer, which is kind of what happened the other night, and it was absolutely mind-blowing.
I didn't expect that.
Yeah, we
be
wanted to basically like run an experiment where we had like each one of these individual psychics come in without the other ones around, and then so they weren't influenced by each other. And so what we did is we actually, this sounds really bad, we actually like blindfolded all the psychics, and they had no idea like where they were at all. And we had like one producer on this trip that was helping us out with like transporting them like to and from the haunted location. But yeah, they had zero idea besides like obviously the hotel that they were in. They kind of knew like the area of like the state that we were in, but that's about it. And then at the way end of the investigation, the end of the video, we had all of them come together for one final investigation to see if like they were going to maybe contradict each other or like fight for whose like opinion was right or maybe all agree. We didn't know. So it was just a massive, yeah, seriously.
I was hoping for that, to be honest.
Elena's like, fight.
It was just a massive experiment. We were just like really curious about it and thought it was a cool concept.
Yeah, it really is.
It was so much fun.
Yeah. And also, we're going to say this like a million times during this, but go watch the video because
Yeah, you gotta watch the
you need
video.
to watch it on Sam and Colby's page. It is
Thank you.
crazy.
When we say it was unlike anything we've ever experienced
Yeah.
before, because we were sitting at the Longhorn Steakhouse, plug, and you guys were like asking us like, what are your thoughts on mediums? Do you believe? Are you skeptical? I mostly believe.
Yeah.
And you were super pretty skeptical.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that believes like most of them are probably lying.
Yeah.
And just trying to get money or like, whatever from it. But I think they exist. And I think there are some that are real, especially like mediums. I'm more apt to believe, I think. I don't know why. So I went into this like totally, I was like 3. I feel like 3 we're going to get like,
like at least a
maybe
couple.
one that works. But
And
I was shocked.
we kind of believe the same thing. Like both Sam and I kind of believe like 85-90% of psychics are all fake, just doing it for the money. So yeah, we like specifically chose the 3 psychics that you guys met for a reason. The first one was Patty Negri. She's actually been in the paranormal field for years, and she has experienced sensing ghosts like specifically through like her hands is what we researched, which is why when we were walking around, she had her hands out a lot.
She did, yeah.
Since childhood, and she's been on every single TV show you can even think of. So she's very, very credible. And we were like, okay, we got to test her. She's been around. And then there was a guy named Mystic Dylan.
Mystic Dylan, 5 ever.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love
them all.
Mystic Dylan.
He was
Insane.
awesome.
He's been going so viral recently just because he does a special technique called claromancy, which is like throwing objects. He specifically uses animal bones and like other like totems, I think he's what he called them.
Yeah.
And he's able to like throw these bones onto a table or onto the floor. And then depending on how they fall onto like this mat that he had, he's able to read what's going on in the room or what happened in the past or the future.
I'm not going to
Insane.
lie. When you told us that at dinner, I was like, I don't know how that's going to work. Like, I'm not sure about that one,
I know,
actually.
I went into that one very
I'm like, as a
skeptical.
non-skeptic, I might be a little skeptical about that.
Yeah.
That one was by far the one that was just like, there is no way
Yes.
this works at all.
Yeah.
But I
That's
feel
how I
like
felt.
out of all of the different methods, that was the most mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into, but that was like
Yeah, for
100%
sure.
Yeah.
crazy
That
accurate.
was nuts.
Nuts.
And then the last was our good friend. Her name is Pythian Priestess. Her name's Ashley. But yeah, she's been like our not personal, but like she's helped us personally as like our spirit guide for the last like 2-3 years. And her expertise, at least what we found, is like tarot.
Definitely.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And so we wanted to bring her last so that it was a familiar face to the channel and that she could help us solve this like mystery once and for all. And she did.
She was incredible with
And
the
she
tarot.
just jumped right into it. It was like,
Yeah.
okay, where are we going? Let's go. Boom. Like, it was wild.
And that
It
was
really
a little
was.
like interesting too, is because we told them absolutely nothing, and like they literally took off their blindfold as they were walking up to the SK Pierce mansion. It was kind of just like all right, we want to see what you guys get.
Yeah.
Like we didn't tell them any information. We just kind of like had them go find a room, find like the areas that they felt the most activity, and then just like went for it.
Yep.
After they would get something, we would tell them a yes or no that kind of lines up with the research or not. But it was really interesting to see like from scratch, like literal nothing, like blindfold off, they're already feeling and sensing the things that lined up with the history of the location. You guys have been to that location at Ghost Town before too.
Yeah.
We had gone with Sabrina Corinne and Payne Lindsay.
Yeah. And these psychics came from like all over. Too.
Yeah.
They weren't like Massachusetts based. And even if they were, I didn't know about the S.K. Pierce Mansion until Ash covered it on one of our episodes. I'd never heard of it, and I've lived here my entire life.
And I hadn't heard of it until I think I like Googled like most haunted places in Massachusetts, and it popped up on a list.
It's not something you would just know. And like it's not like the Lizzie Borden house that like is pretty well known and like,
or like the witch house
well
in
known.
Salem.
Yeah, like I felt like all of them were like, yeah, I don't know what this house is, and I was like, I fully believe that because I wouldn't have known what this house was.
And even if you did, like we've gone to this mansion before, you guys have too, and to recall all the different nuances of the family history and everything would be impossible. Like we didn't even know. We had to like restudy for all this, and so the fact that they were picking out things that were like so detailed, and it lined up perfectly. It was just really mind blowing.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Also for like the skeptics out there, like, yeah, you could say like they knew what hotel we were staying at so they can go on their Google Maps and like search up haunted places and make like an educated guess and like study or whatever. But then how did the methods that they were doing line up with everything in the story?
That's the thing.
Because the tools, like Patty's like the queen of like dowsing rods, you guys were saying. And like her tools were making sense. With Dylan, his bones, like there was no way he could have thrown them into a perfect alignment for what had happened there.
Yeah, because even we could see the story that they were showing. That was the thing that I loved the most, that like he wasn't making up like what these symbols meant. Like they made sense for what they meant, and then they would fall in a way that I was like, oh yeah, that does say that. Like you could confirm it yourself. Like he couldn't have faked that.
And then with tarot, even like with Ashley, the things that were popping up, I know a little bit of tarot, so I was like, oh yeah, like that does make sense. And we saw her like shuffling the cards every time, like she was not picking them. You know,
right? Yeah, crazy.
It was pretty insane. So yeah, like the whole premise of the video was, hey, this place is really haunted, so we obviously want like, just ghost hunt in general, but our main goal was to figure out this unsolved murder. Now there was this bone that was found in the basement of the S.K. Pierce Mansion house, and they think that it was from a 16-year-old girl. It was like a pelvic bone, but they have no idea who that person was and the killer. Now, the people that have been investigating for a long time have their thoughts on who they think it could have been, but nothing has ever been confirmed. And so we're like, okay, what better to do than get all the psychics to figure out their answer? And if all those things line up, that is really insane, because we were not telling all the information that we got from the previous psychic to the next psychic.
Right.
They were independently finding these answers, and we were the ones that were like, corroborating with all that stuff.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad because it kind of felt like, I don't know if you guys got the same vibe, but it kind of felt like each psychic would come in and then we were just like, go!
Yeah,
Do it! Go!
Tell me
they
about
did.
it.
That's the thing. Like when you say it, like you feel bad, but they just got right to it.
Yeah.
You know?
Because like Patty walked in and we were just like, where do you want to go? And she was just like, let us somewhere.
On the spot, yeah.
Well, and she got hit with like a wave when she first walked in. She literally did like this.
Yeah, she did like.
Yeah.
What was funny about Patty's investigation was I feel like almost immediately everything started pointing to you, Elena.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, get called out right off the bat.
And I was like, great.
And it was saying like, Patty kept hearing like Wanda, or like something like that. And I was like, is it like want her? Like I want her? Like what is happening? And I kind of think it was actually.
Well, I think one of the main things that we like understood about that was they found some sort of correlation with how you looked versus the supposed like wife, the first wife of SK. And when later on, like we didn't even know this at the time, like later on we went and talked to the caretaker and she was like, oh yeah, the first wife of SK had red hair.
Yeah.
And we're like, what?
And he was like, and she like specifically brought that up. She was like, he likes your hair.
Yeah.
They kept saying that. So when the caretakers confirmed it, I was like, whoa.
And we didn't tell the caretakers anything. We were just like, oh, hey, like, what color hair did SK's
we
first
said,
wife
what did she
had?
look like? Do you or we said, do you have pictures? And she was like, oh, we don't have pictures, but like we
she
know
was a
that she had
redhead.
red hair. And we're like, oh.
And what's crazy about that too is like SK remarried pretty shortly after like his first wife Susan passed away, to a much younger wife, like 30 years younger.
He was
named
getting it.
Ellen. And so, yeah, it's rumored that SK like did that for potentially the wrong reasons, and that's why he might have been drawn to you as a redhead because you like reminded him of his first wife. It's crazy.
It's so creepy.
He likes the younger gals.
Yeah.
And you're just a couple hundred years younger.
Just a couple hundred
So,
years.
you know, it worked
I mean,
out.
you seem to be targeted like almost the entire night.
Yeah, you really
Honestly,
were.
I thought it was when Patty did it, I was like, okay, like this is funny. And
Yeah.
then afterwards I was like, that's not gonna happen again. Like I thought that was just a Patty thing and maybe that would just be the end of it. I was like, the other ones aren't gonna confirm that. And then it just kept
Each one of them
happening, and
did.
I was like is this real? Like what is going on?
Even to the point of like at the end of the night, like when we were like sitting in the basement, you got touched, right?
Yeah. So this was with Ashley.
Yes.
Yep.
In the basement, and we were sitting in a circle, and she was doing the tarot, and I had my jacket on, like my leather jacket, and I was just like paying attention to what she was doing, and it felt suddenly like someone like grabbed my shoulder.
And
it
you were
was
kind of
very
explaining
strong.
that it wasn't just a tap or a pull; it was a
Grab.
A grab.
a firm grab.
And I've never, ever, ever felt anything like that. Like
Yeah.
I haven't been poked. I haven't had any of that stuff happen.
When you had such a visceral reaction, like
Yeah.
you jumped and
Yeah.
you like went into like fight mode.
Oh God! Immediately, I'm ready to punch it.
Yeah.
Because it was not like a brush or anything like that. You could be like, oh, maybe like my hair or something brushed against. It was like full on, like something did this to my shoulder, like a
Well,
claw.
and in that moment, Ashley so casually was like, well, it's because you look like her.
Yeah.
And she was saying,
Yeah.
like, you look like
Nonchalant.
the girl who we believe was killed in the house or near
Yeah.
the house.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's
damn.
so
And she said it so casual. She was like, oh, yeah, well, like, you look like her.
Yeah, that was scary.
And
when
once
she
again,
turned
we
and said
didn't
that.
tell Ashley what
No.
we had found previously. So she was just coming up with that on her own accord.
Yeah. And it was so spooky when she
Yeah.
just turned and looked at me and was like, because you look like her. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
What?
It was wild. And I think Dylan had already said something to that effect, too.
He was like, I knew she had red hair. I said that. Like,
Yeah.
he was like, I was going to say that earlier. So, yeah, it came to him too.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, just so we can go chronologically, like more of the things that Patty had said while we were there.
Well, we initially got that we were talking to SK. So I think that's where we first got.
You felt like we weren't, though.
So that's the thing. When we got down to the basement and we kind of started to learn like more about the family dynamic and that kind of thing, I feel like whoever we were talking to, like whoever was, like doing the dowsing rods with Patty, I think they were pretending to be SK. Because it felt a little, the more it kept pointing at you, like it felt creepier. And SK didn't seem to have like a super like nefarious spirit. Like he seemed pretty chill.
Yeah.
And it didn't really sound like he was involved in the murder or anything like that. So I was like, could it have been like Frank because he liked how you looked?
Ew.
And then like,
I hate that a
you know,
lot
do you know
more.
what I mean though?
Then I would have rather SK.
I just feel like SK wouldn't have been as creepy.
Yeah.
For a little backstory, like the Pierce family, like SK was the guy that built the house. He had two different wives, and he built the house for the first wife, but she died immediately, and they moved in. And so he had one older son with the first wife, and then two
Frank,
more
right.
sons. And so the three sons were most likely the three suspects of the person that would like have killed somebody in the house, because the family lineage still owned the SK mansion while this murder occurred.
Yep.
And yeah, so there apparently was a female that was not in the family that was found in the basement, buried under like a kiln or a furnace or something like that. So basically, we're like the whole gist of it was which family member and why would they kill this random person, and what's the relation to the family.
Yeah, and they were stepbrothers too, like you were saying. Like the first wife had just the oldest son, but then he
Yep.
remarried, and it was the other two.
Yep.
And so there was already kind of some conflict when Ellen died. Everybody had to figure out who gets the mansion.
Yeah.
And so obviously Frank being the oldest son is just like, it
Obviously
should be me.
me.
It should be me. But Stuart and Edward's the youngest, also were fighting over it. But Edward ended up being the one who got it. And not to make things more confusing, but after he like acquired it, I guess, like in the early 1900s, like 1902 specifically, it turned into like a boarding home to where now not just its family history is there, but now there's a bunch of random people just using this house
debauchery.
Yeah,
debauchery.
from random things like
Yeah.
gambling,
Honestly.
whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
All the things.
All
Yeah.
the things.
Yeah.
So I think what's so interesting is how complex that lineage is and everything like that, like how many family members are a part of it versus not, versus how many wives, all these different things. It just makes it so much more impressive how accurate all these readings were
Yeah.
from the psychics. Like talking about SK and all this stuff is really, really interesting. But then one other aspect, which I think we were getting at, is it's said that like 17 spirits are
Yeah.
haunting this house.
Yeah.
But a lot of people believe that there is some sort of non-human spirit in the basement, which could be, like you said, maybe tricking people and
Yeah.
like saying I am SK and stuff like that,
Right.
which obviously just throws a wrench in everything.
Yeah. Well, and then Patty was saying too, like there's what was she calling him? Like
creeper.
A creeper. She was saying there's a creeper and like he keeps like poking his head out and then like but he's following us, but he doesn't want us to know. So that threw me for a loop too. I
Maybe
was
the
like, I don't know.
creeper
I just
was
my
Frank.
like intuition is saying like it wasn't SK. That was victimizing you. Damn. You know?
Which is crazy because if it was the murderer who was like victimizing, that's so like
That's even
messed
scarier.
up. Yeah. Because he told us he was just like if it was him, he was just like, it's somebody in the family, but I can't tell you who.
Right.
Yeah.
Which would make sense because he wouldn't want to rat himself out.
Because he's not going to say he
Exactly.
did it.
And
That's
it's like
crazy.
Right.
maybe SK like he probably knows in the afterlife, but he wasn't alive whenever this happened. So
Yeah.
Correct.
you know,
Exactly.
Yeah,
it is
so he's really
interesting.
not-
Which means,
Yeah.
do you think the creeper that Patty saw was this negative entity instead of the murderer? It was just like a negative.
Well, I think she was saying that he was a human spirit and he was just like lingering around to see if we're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, I think she was saying it was one of the stepbrothers.
Interesting.
But
So
I
do you
don't
feel
know.
like it was Frank, like trying to see if we were going to figure it out?
Could have been.
Yeah.
Or it was Frank was the one answering and the creeper was like Edward or Stuart.
Yeah.
I hope it was Stuart.
Yeah, Stuart doesn't
Stuart
get
was
talked about.
so handsome.
No, I think that was Edward.
No, that was Stuart, she said.
Oh, I thought she said Edward.
Yeah, she said that was Stuart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the little picture that we
Yeah.
saw.
Yeah.
He was
I
I
all
was like, oh my God, look at this man.
Yeah.
sharp.
Whoever that was adorable.
I could see him just peeking around. Being
Exactly.
like, you going to figure it
Stuart's
out?
like,
Yeah, being like, hey, my brother was such an asshole. Figure it out.
Sorry,
you
you're
Yeah.
still
know?
being a creep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was really, really cool to see what pieces of the puzzle we were able to find out through all different psychics.
Yeah.
And I think the main thing we figured out with Patty was this idea of protecting the secret,
Yeah.
which I
Yeah.
think became a huge core like storyline throughout the entire thing. Is like they would not give up this secret because they were afraid of their image.
Yeah, image came up so much.
Patty kept saying that specific word. Yeah.
And it went through the rest of the psychics too. They kept saying the image.
They were like, okay, we have this like really like high end family, and we're the kings of the town. We have this big business. We want to seem like we have everything figured out. And if we had this like turmoil with our family, and like some of our like sons are bad apples, that's bad.
Yeah.
And so it's like, yes, like I'll give you enough that it was in the family, but I don't want to talk about who it was or how it went down because I didn't want to sacrifice this like image they had,
Yeah.
Right, right.
It's so true.
which is really, really interesting.
And then what's wild too, like kind of like a side note from like that sort of plot. So we went upstairs and you guys had been to the SK at Pierce Mansion before, and in a specific room, there was
Yeah.
something
Oh,
traumatic
yes.
happen where Patty was like, there's definitely a portal in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we had already been told there's a portal in there.
Yeah.
So that's on the third floor,
Yeah,
right?
it's on the third floor.
In
and
the
it was
back.
the game room.
Yep, the billiards room.
And it's where they used to like, debauch.
yeah, the guys would have like I thought it was
Gambling.
interesting. Exactly. Dylan kept bringing up gambling.
Yeah, and that used to
Yeah.
happen in there.
And
It's
that
like
was-
a billiard room, game room.
Yeah, a big thing in there.
Yeah, and there's like a big walk-in closet in that room, and there's like stories that like really bad things used to happen in that closet, especially with like women that they would bring into the house.
Yeah, because women weren't allowed in the room unless they were brought into the room.
Yeah.
So that tells you everything
They
you need
weren't
to know.
there by their own consent.
Right.
And when we went the last time, we walked into that room and immediately were like, "Oh,
All of us felt off.
this is off." And then we went in I think
I didn't go in the
you didn't go
closet.
in. I went in. I think Payne went in.
I think Sabrina might
And I
have
think
gone
Sabrina went in, and all of us were like, this feels yucky in here. I was like, I don't want to be in here at all. Like,
One
I
of you
immediately
guys
got
felt
up.
like suffocated. Like you
Yeah.
felt like short of breath.
Yeah, we were all feeling really gross about it. And I think later we came back to it, and it was still like something was off. I think we had like something was happening with our light. Remember the camera was like
Oh, yeah.
making
Oh.
something happen.
Yeah, it was something like Payne was looking and there was like a white like
grid of light.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, it was very strange, and it was only happening in certain places. Mm-hmm. And so when we came in here with Patty, immediately her saying like, "There's a portal in here." We were like, yeah. And then she starts saying like there's good energy and bad, or like it feels good, but it feels bad at the same time, which like makes so much sense.
Because there was so much celebration and stuff.
Well, there's so many men having so many pleasurable experiences in there, but there's a lot of women who are having terrible experiences in there. So it's like when she said that, I was like, that's literally what happened in
it's a
this room.
balance.
It was like every bit 50-50.
Yeah. And I think all three of them said something about cigars. And I think SK was like big on cigars because they're throughout the house. But specifically, they were smoked in that room.
Yeah,
so that was
all three of the psychics said, like, I smell cigar smoker. I feel cigar business.
I feel cigar vibes.
Cigar
vibes.
Yeah. I remember specifically, too, like Patty, maybe it wasn't on the third floor. Could be wrong, but like the second floor, she kept being like, it's like hard to like breathe, and like I just want to like speak, but it sounds like I'm being like silenced or whatever. It feels like I'm being silenced, and so I wonder if that was like her like feeling the women who wanted to speak up back in the day.
Yeah,
probably,
because it seems like it was a theme in that house that especially women were silenced.
Yeah, or like we got with Patty, like controlled.
Yes.
When we went up to the third floor. We went into the quote unquote servants' room, and she got a lot about like, oh, I feel like people were silenced, people were controlled in this room. Like, they were doing things against their will.
Yeah.
She even brought up like possible like drugged or something like that. Like that kind of feeling.
Yeah, she said like feeling like I'm in an altered state, but like it wasn't my decision, I think she said.
Yeah, which is really creepy.
That was terrifying.
And that was where because that's supposedly where like the 16-year-old girl was staying, and I think another girl, right?
Yeah, I think there was two maids, right?
Yeah.
That lived in that room.
Like Susan and Sarah, I believe. And Susan was the 16-year-old girl who was also like a prime suspect or victim.
Yeah, I thought she might be the pelvic bone.
Yeah, the pelvic bone girl.
And when we were in there with Patty and she was using the dowsing rods, they like flicked over to you really fast.
Yeah.
That was the weirdest experience, like one of the weirdest experiences I've had, because I think when we walked in there, she was talking about like feeling pressure in her head. And as she was saying it, I felt it. But I was like, maybe this is like a placebo effect. Like, I think I'm just feeling pressure.
Yeah.
And then she was trying to talk to whoever was in there. And we felt like it was like a young person. And I love kids. And I think the last time we were on the USS Salem, like I got followed by a ghost.
You did.
So I was like, I don't know. Like, I'll just say something in my head. I was like, you're safe here with us. And the dowsing rods flicked to me in that moment. And she said, would she say like she just grabbed onto you, or like she just jumped over to you?
Yeah.
And it was like they flicked at me right as I thought that in my head, and she said it.
Yeah.
And then she was trying to get more information, and I said something else in my head, and she said like she grabbed on tighter, or like something like that.
Yeah,
which
it
I didn't
happened multiple times.
Yeah.
Where you're like, you're gonna be all right, and I think the second time was like, I got you. And
Yeah.
then right after you said I got you, like flicked over, and I was like, oh, they're over with you now again.
Yeah.
It was really interesting.
It was weird because I didn't like feel anything on my body or anything like that, but having the confirmation of the dowsing rods like flick at me, that was
because how could she have known that?
Yeah.
No,
You said
that's
it in your head.
exactly. This part of the show is brought to you by Anua, the Korean skincare brand known for scientific, gentle, yet effective formulations. The latest from Anua is the Retinol Collagen Gua Sha Cream, a firming cream with a gua sha-shaped tip built right in. Have you guys heard of gua sha? It's that viral massage tool that moves fluid and tension out of your face. Less puffiness, a snatched jawline, honey, more definition in your face. Retinol firms and reduces fine lines, and collagen keeps your skin plump and structured. This cream has both of those things, arguably the most optimal combo for that snatched, lifted look all in one step. I am obsessed with the Gua Sha cream. First of all, it feels so cool to the touch. When you put that on your face, it's just like, this is lovely. It's like a little spa treatment that you can give yourself. I like to do mine at night after I get out of the shower. I rub the cream on my face with the little gua sha. I'm sculpting that jawline, honey. I got it on the cheekbones. And actually, I had a facial the other day, and the lady doing my facial, the professional, she said, do you use a gua sha at home? And I said, I do. And I said, how did you know that? And she said, I didn't have those little like bumps in my chin or like different areas like that. So she could tell that I was using the gua sha. And I said, oh my God. I just feel like I wake up less puffy in the morning when I do it the night before. But you can do it whenever you want to. I, 10 out of 10, recommend this product. The Anua Gua Sha Cream Value Set is available at anua.com, already discounted. Use code MORBID for an extra 10% off. That's ANUA.com, code MORBID. This is a paid ad by BetterHelp. I happen to be somebody that struggles with people pleasing. So a lot of times I will build things up and up and up and up and up and then kind of get to the point where I'm like, I need to let this out to this person. Even in 2026, that stigma and just stigma in general can get in the way of a lot of things, like getting support for your mental health. Maybe you've encouraged friends to consider therapy while avoiding taking that first step yourself because you're busy. You're worried about what other people might think, or telling yourself that you should handle this all alone. But therapy with BetterHelp, the world's largest online therapy platform, can be a space to slow down and talk through what's been building before it feels unmanageable. Just take a short questionnaire to identify your needs and preferences, and BetterHelp will handle the initial therapist matching work for you. Their industry-leading match rate means BetterHelp typically gets it right the first time. Feel confident knowing BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully qualified. Don't let hesitation hold you back. Find support with BetterHelp. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/morbid. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/morbid. Chilling crime cases are mysterious, but finding coverage shouldn't be. With the State Farm Personal Price Plan, you have options and can personalize your plan to help create an affordable price so you can get back to cracking all of life's bigger cases. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can choose to bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Head to statefarm.com to get a quote. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
My favorite part of the whole Patty investigation was the Ma chant. You know,
The matcha was, I felt bad because I was like, I'm taking it seriously, but it just sounded so silly that I'm cracking up on camera.
I think that's like kind of the point. It's like you're putting so much energy that it is kind of like lighthearted.
Yeah, you're like
and funny.
releasing all the.
Basically, we were screaming for like 2 minutes. We're like, "Rah!"
Whoever was downstairs was probably like, what the
They
fuck?
said it. They were like, we heard you guys screaming up there. Yeah.
It was insane. I've never done anything like that. But
That
it was
was
cool. It definitely brought up the energy for sure.
Yeah.
It
And
did.
she said
funny.
that it will like bring more spirits out. And it definitely felt like it did. Because in the beginning, it felt like we were kind of only talking to SK maybe. And then the like girl in that room. But then when like the rest of the psychics came in, we definitely got more, I felt like.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Because we heard some like weird noises, like shuffling noises happening. We were trying to follow it, but we couldn't find where it was happening.
Which, yeah, full disclosure, like there was a guide downstairs. And then,
For the first half.
Yeah, for the first half. Then she left like during Mystic Dylan.
Yep.
But also our producer was bringing the psychics there and back. So like we were a little confused at beginning if like it was that person or not, the guide. But after Dylan left, the noises, I feel like they didn't
kept
stop.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
Particularly when we were in the fire room, I think. We were like
Yes.
really going. And you had texted your producer and you were like, was that you? And some of it was, but not all of it, you said, right?
Yeah, he just said like, "Oh, the owners were just leaving. Like, it should be quiet now."
Yeah, but
that
we
was
heard
like
more.
Yes, there was
Yeah.
more like right after that.
For a long
Yeah.
period of time. Because every single time we tried to start talking. it was
Yeah.
like, boom.
It was every time Dylan would try to speak that all of a sudden it would sound like craziness was happening.
Let's
I was
talk
like,
about Dylan. This
Yeah, we
was
gotta move to Dylan.
Insane.
First of all, the second he walked in, you and
Oh.
I think, like shared a telekinesis
We were both
moment.
like, I love him.
Yeah.
like as soon as he walked in, I was,
I was like, new
yep,
best friend unlocked.
love him a lot.
Yeah, his look and his demeanor was awesome.
Oh, he's
Yep.
so charming. I
Yeah.
love him.
Yep.
So apparently he had studied like a specific version of clairvoyancy and like mediumship in Egypt.
In New Orleans too.
And in New Orleans,
Yeah.
voodoo and all that stuff.
Santeria, right?
Yeah, it was really interesting. It's something we had never even heard of before.
Yeah.
Much less like, what are we if we're gonna believe it or not. And to be quite honest, I was highly skeptical just
Me
as we were
too.
talking about this.
Right.
When we first like talked about this with our like creative team, like, is this even a good idea? Like I don't know if it's genuinely possible at all for this to work. But they assured us that like the reason why Mystic Dylan is blowing up is because his readings are so incredibly accurate. We're like, all right, well, let's give it a try.
Let's do
the
it.
whole point of this video is to test the psychic.
Yeah.
So like, why not? Let's see it. And so we immediately go upstairs to the wife's room, the second wife's room, Ellen, and they called it the red room because all of the wallpaper was red. And he was like, let's immediately do a session right here on her bed. And that, I think, was the highlight of my night, for sure.
I agree.
The first time he tossed everything, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
No expectation at all. Like, what's going to happen? He basically got all these bones and totems in a conch shell.
Yeah,
maybe?
shell.
I don't know. And then threw them onto the bed, onto this map. And within this one toss, he basically explained everything to a T about the story of the S.K. Pierce Mansion.
Yeah.
The pelvis bone which he had a pelvic bone, first of all, was nuts.
Like an animal pelvic bone.
An animal one, yeah. And it went right into the center. So it was like the center of our story. Yeah. I was like, I just remember like slowly backing up and just being like, no, like this can't be real.
And he even had like a totem that had like, playing card symbols on it that were like the gambling things. He had like a bunch of like little penis totems.
Yeah. He was like, something about this murder has to do with sex or something like that.
Or an
Which we were
affair
like,
or anything like that. Yeah.
And then there was even like a frog on its back, and he said like the frog represented fertility, but because it was on its back, it was
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, something to do
Female
with
fertility.
the fertility stuff.
Yeah, that was my favorite part of the entire night because I was just watching like all of our faces and like I'm like hidden in a hoodie. Like I look over at you two and you're both just like backing away, like mind blown. And like Dylan has no idea like that we're freaking out so much. He's just like, yeah, no. Because again, like it's not like he's just like pulling this out of nowhere. Like he's reading what he threw out.
Yeah.
Right.
And so he's just like, well, this looks like this. And we're just all
like-
reacting. Like,
He was like,
Tried not
okay,
to confirm.
there's a lot of, this is like a family house with like a lot of spirits that are in the family here, but there was a murder of someone outside the family you see over here, and it seems like there was, the dice says two. There's two wives, and one was much younger than the other one.
Yeah.
And we're like, what the hell is going on right now? I can't believe this.
Like the dice, like how do you throw a 2?
Yeah.
And then be like, yeah, it was 2 wives. That
Yeah,
was
like
nuts.
two wives.
Yeah.
Like
he said
there's,
one
like,
was more
children
like
ghosts.
a matronly energy, like older.
yes.
And he's
one
like,
was
and then
like-
the other one's like more energetic and more like, and he's like youthful,
And
maybe
then he
like,
was like-
age. And we were like, oh,
He's like, and then like off to the corner over here, it says like there's one thing about this house that is like a message that isn't uncovered yet. And we're like,
yeah. He was like, he's like a mystery, and we were like, that's exactly what we're doing.
like, what is happening?
Oh my
At this point, we had not told him anything, and so it's just like, okay, on your very first throw, you just get all the history right. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
cool.
Well,
Oh,
let's
all
figure
right.
this out.
Let's see what happens.
And he's like smelling of like smoke, and he's like, I don't know what is that smell, perfume and smoke or whatever. And Colby like, let's go with this other room. Let's just I don't know, do another reading.
Yeah,
and
just see.
immediately his like first throw was on like the same map, but he put out some cards with symbols, and like this promise ring was landing right on a fire. And what's crazy is in that specific room, out of all of the different things and deaths that happened, that was the only room that someone died because of a fire.
Yep.
He did not know this. We didn't tell him that, anything. And it literally had a symbol of a guy who died that was not part of the family.
Yeah, he was
From
totally
a fire.
outside the
And it was
symbol.
like, whoa, wait, what am I looking at right now?
Yeah.
Like, how is this possible?
Yeah. Which, to your point, like, it's kind of hard to describe this mat, but there was basically like a circle and then like a bunch of little symbols on it, right?
Yeah.
And then, so when he threw all the bones, like most of them, like basically 95% of them went into like the center of the circle, but then only the ones you were talking about, like this totem pole sort of looking symbol thing, and then like a skeleton, then like a promise ring, and then like a card that had fire on it.
Yeah.
Like, which was basically just saying like, hey, it's not part of this story that you guys are looking to find out, but somebody
Literally
else
on the
died.
outside.
And then we realized that in the time that it was a boarding house, that there was a guy named Eno Sari who was a mechanic, and he one night came home super drunk, was smoking a cigarette, and lit himself on fire, and actually died of smoke inhalation. So he also suffocated, which makes sense why Patty was like, I feel like I can't breathe. And then
Yeah.
Dylan was also like, I smell smoke up here.
And we all
Crazy.
smelled smoke too, which was wild.
When we walked into that room, it was like a bonfire smell, like shot up my nose.
yeah.
It was insane.
And you have a deviated septum,
and
too.
I
You can't smell shit.
Yeah. So that was wild.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
And it was funny too because he was like, you could almost see he was like because it was so clear, and he was like, I'm not necessarily saying like somebody died by fire, but
Like it looks like somebody died from
and
fire.
we were like, no, like someone died by fire.
Yeah, we were trying so hard not to be like, you got it. But also like,
like,
oh, keep going.
Interesting.
Well, and then we went downstairs, and that was when he threw. I forget like what we were asking. We were just trying to get like a little deeper into it. And that was when one of the bones went on the floor.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, something wants us to go in the basement.
And he was like, I'm not going in
And
the basement.
we hadn't said like anything to him about like, well, they found a pelvic bone in the basement, and like that is ultimately where we're gonna end up tonight. And he was like, I'm not going down there. Like, I do not want to go down there.
Yeah.
But something wanted us to.
Yeah.
And like, not to like confuse people, but going back in the video, Patty also in that same room was like, I don't know what it is, but there's something like with the fireplace.
Yes.
And so even though it wasn't in that specific room, the pelvic bone was found, the 16-year-old girl, in the furnace downstairs.
Yeah.
Yup.
And so her and Dylan's findings like actually matched up
lined
right
up.
there.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Crazy.
It was
And she
wild.
said, she was like, that's, I think, like, well, where you're going to find your next clue.
Yeah.
And we did.
Which we did find it in there.
It was wild how they all like synced up. It was like we needed multiple parts of the story to really understand like who this person was and who the killer was. And it was like little pieces from each investigation all coincided and told the whole story together.
Yeah. It really did.
But then so many things overlapped.
Definitely.
yeah.
Wild.
It was crazy.
It really was. I'm trying to think if there was anything else like huge that Dylan said. There was just so many things that were like spot on with him.
Yeah.
One thing that I thought was really interesting was the time that he wasn't doing his clairvoyancy. He was just walking around at the front, and we didn't know this at the time, but like he pointed out a little piece of the history that like apparently it was like more recent, and he kept looking over the pianos, and he's like, there's a guy that really likes to play the piano. And he really likes sitting there and just like watching over people and stuff. But yeah, just a slightly older man. And then like later on throughout the night, we went and asked the caretaker, and she gave us a sheet of paper. And right there, there's a guy named James that they were seeing recently that plays the piano and watches over people. And it's like, what? It's
And he
like,
just did that casually.
Yeah,
Like
and that
he was
was-
just walking around.
And that was like such a random detail of the story,
Yeah.
you know? Like,
It didn't
was
have anything to
crazy.
do with the story, really. It was just
Yeah.
kind of like, oh, here's another ghost.
Right,
It was
yeah.
just feeling that off in the distance. It was like, how do you, like, that's so specific. And like, how do we know that that's even part of it? At first, we were like, we haven't heard of anything like that.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, we go and do a little more research. Boom. It made
right
sense.
there.
What, and I do want to like, what was interesting about that is like at that point the caretaker had left like when we were upstairs, and so we actually found that just from like an information packet that was on like the kitchen table. And Sam and I did a lot of research on this place and had no idea there was like a James character that was this piano player until we were just like, we're taking a little break, like read through this packet. A James who loves to play piano.
Like,
It's
there
like,
he is.
what?
like, boom, he had said it.
Crazy.
It was funny too, because at first I was like, well, that doesn't really have anything to do with anything. And then I was
Yeah.
like, oh shit, it does.
Like, oh.
Not our specific story, but the story of the ghost series.
still a
for
story.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when we had Ashley come in.
Yep. And we took her
Straight to
thing
the basement.
immediately to the basement. She was so down for anything,
I
though.
know.
She walked in, like, you guys introduced us. You kind of told her, like, what we were doing. And you were like, so we're going to the basement. And she was like, all right, like,
Let's
where
go.
is it? Let's go.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
And she just started right away. Like, just
She
right
went
away.
into it, yeah. We, like, went through all the rooms down there. We get down, and immediately in the room where there's the furnace, she goes, don't like that room. Like, immediately.
She
Yeah.
knew.
Yeah, like she looked at the corner exactly where the girl supposedly was like buried, and she's like, "I don't like that corner." It's like,
Yeah.
how? The entire base. It's like 7 rooms
It's
downstairs.
a huge basement.
And she points exactly to it. It's like, no, right there.
like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
What is going on?
She also opened a door at one point and just went, nope, and then closed it. I was like, what's in there?
I know. What did you?
That was
look
like
in
a
there?
closet.
She
I
didn't
think.
tell us.
closet,
We just
yeah.
moved on. Yeah.
Oh,
We were
yeah,
like,
she's like,
okay.
I was like, you know what? We don't need
that.
to know.
Yeah, that's fine.
Move on.
When she says no to a door, you're like, all right, I'll
It means
respect
no.
it. It's
Yeah.
fine. We don't
Yeah.
need to
With
mess
it.
with it. But then she's like, okay, well, my main thing is like rituals. So
Mm-hmm.
you guys want to start off with like a ritual? And I was like, that's cool. Let's do it.
Yeah, we were like,
she
let's
pulls
go.
out this mat. And she's like, don't look at the mat.
Oh my God.
And then all you want to do is look at the fucking map.
I could not stop staring at that. I kept looking at it and being like, stop looking at it. I was
Yeah.
so scared that I was going to like go into a trance.
I
or
love it though.
something.
She was like, don't look at it.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
like, don't look at it too long.
Like if you look at these symbols, you're gonna fall into a trance.
know, I was
and
so
we're
scared.
like, okay.
And it was a
Like,
giant like circular. It kind of, yeah, it almost looked like it was like a big like pentagram thing, but it was
Yeah.
just like a giant like black circle with like one big symbol
like
on
a
it.
moon kind of thing.
Yeah, a bunch of like moon banana looking things.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
And before she laid it out, she looked at me and Elaine and she's like, what are your signs? No, we like told her.
I was
and
so
she
scared. I was like, Capricorn.
She goes, okay, you'll be fine. And I was like, what?
yeah, it's like, would I not be fine? Is somebody else?
Yeah,
Like,
I think she said like if you were water signs, it would probably. And you were like,
And I was like,
have
I'm a
water-
Pisces moon.
I have a water moon. Is that all right? She's like, that's cool.
Like,
Yeah.
you're chilling.
Like, oh my God.
But yeah, we had never done that sort of, I guess you can call it like exercise or ritual
Yeah.
with her before. So that was new to us, by the way. I don't know
good.
if we explained
All
that. But yeah, she basically had us all stand into the mat and then plug one nostril.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
breathe in
9
slowly,
times
like,
or something.
9 times. And then after we did that, like obviously we were like woozy
like
a little
woozy,
bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
It gets you into like a state for
Yeah.
sure.
And then she just said, now just start, like close your eyes and start saying like what comes to mind.
and that
Yeah.
worked really well for you, Ash.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it worked so well that I was like doubting myself though. What happened? At one point I got a pain in my side, in my right side, and I was like, I have a pain. And she goes, what side? I said, right. She goes, me too. I was like, okay. And then I saw the name Kathleen flash in my head, but I just said I saw the letter K because I was like, I don't want to sound like an idiot if it's like not Kathleen.
Yeah.
So I was like, I saw a K, and she was like, okay. You guys saw stuff too. You saw fingernails.
Yeah, and I think like full transparency. I'm thinking about it now, and I'm like, it might have just been like, like the weird little like things when you close your eyes and you can kind of see shapes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if you like close your eyes and you just kind of sit there for a second. I was like, I don't know, kind of looks like
No,
fingernails.
but it could be something.
But I don't know.
She might have been like dragged down there.
Because after that, I was like, I don't see anything.
yeah, you guys saw some stuff too. Like,
Yeah, I wasn't. Because I was filming, I was like not doing the whole thing as much, so I didn't. I don't even think I saw anything at all, but you did.
I remember you said like, I see like fire.
yeah.
Is what, and then I saw a tear on a cheek.
Yeah,
I
you
remember
did.
that, but I can't remember what else I saw, to be honest. It was only like a minute that we were throwing.
Yeah.
It was
out there.
rapid fire, literally.
Yeah, so I don't know.
She
Yeah.
asked me how I was with meditation before we did that, and I was like, I have no experience.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm so stressed.
I took a witchy class recently, and we would do like a couple
Yeah.
meditations every class. So I weirdly got good at it. So I do feel like I tapped in for
You
sure.
did, yeah. You were like,
That is
bumming
the
out with
purpose
stuff.
of it. It's like if she wanted
Yeah.
us to become in a trance,
Yeah.
and like have that intuitiveness.
Yeah.
and that's how a lot of these investigative methods like occur. Is like we're supposed to be in a trance. You're supposed to be open to the spirits to communicate through you.
Right.
Because otherwise
so-
you will second guess.
Yeah,
Like I was
exactly.
second guessing myself.
And if you're
being like,
open
It's
to
hard
things,
not to though.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the same thing like we're talking about too a lot. It's like kids versus adults. Like if you're like, I don't know, I'm doubting myself all the time versus kids are more open to things. And so
Yeah.
like when you put yourself in a trance, you are like a little more open and susceptible to influence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when you feel something, you really can actually like understand it and go with that gut feeling as opposed to like turning it off.
Yeah.
And being like, nah, we gotta face reality.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Which was really interesting because what did this K have to do with this?
Yeah, so then we moved back into the furnace room, and Ashley started doing tarot, and we were really trying to determine a name. And we had a name at first that we thought it was
Well, she said she got a gut feeling that was Catherine.
Catherine. That's what it was.
Yeah.
So we asked the tarot, and the tarot said no. And then I was like, okay, like I'll put myself on the line here. Was it Kathleen? And she goes, yes. And I was like, that was like a crazy
Yeah.
moment. 'Cause I was
Yeah.
like, oh wow, I should have said that back there.
Because that was the original thing that you saw, not a K, Kathleen.
I saw Kathleen like flash in my head, but it's also my grandma's name, and we've been taking care of her. So I was like, maybe I'm like influenced somehow.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
See, you were second guessing.
But I was
so
second
easy
guessing.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was like, yes, it is.
And
Like,
so we confirmed that the girl who was like possibly murdered and thrown down there was Kathleen,
Kathleen,
which is really
which was
interesting.
different than Susan, who we thought it
Yes.
potentially could have been upstairs. But yeah, to kind of like paint a picture for like the people like listening, we didn't know that you could just do yes or no answers
tarot
using
cards.
tarot. But yeah, she still used the entire deck, and then with intention, we would just ask the question. Any of us could have asked the question. Then she like put down a bunch of cards and still was able to like flip a certain one that was like yes or no.
Yeah.
And so it was like direct.
That was
answers.
crazy.
What was it? It was like she said the major arcana was the yes
the
or
yes or
no.
no's.
Oh,
And then when
okay,
we wanted to get more specific, she put like the full deck in. And she had this cool thing where like she lays out the cards and then she tops them on one another and then she flips them. Which
Yeah.
I was like, that's so cool.
Yeah, and there was one point where like I noticed she went to grab one and it like stayed and she grabbed it. She literally said, "Don't block me," and then grabbed it and I was like, "You tell them."
Yeah.
I was like, "Good for
crazy.
you."
She's
Like, she was
firm.
like, "Yeah."
She's awesome with
She's like,
that.
"Damn."
She's like, no, I'm not going to take
I
any
loved
bullshit.
that. I was
Like, we
like,
got
yes.
this.
Yeah.
And that right there in that circle is where you got touched.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where I got to. And I almost second guessed myself of like, am I just being freaked out? But it was so strong,
When you jump.
and I made like a visceral movement
Yeah.
with it that I was like, I need to say what just happened.
and
right
Ashley
now.
said, she was like, what just happened?
Yeah,
Like she
could
caught
see
it.
Yeah, it was
knew.
crazy.
And then we all like set more intentions. We were like, you cannot touch us. I got so weirdly protective of you in that moment.
Yeah,
I was
you
like, don't touch her.
And actually, in the other room when we were doing the meditation, she said something about brownish red hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like
did.
she had already, and I clocked it because I was like, damn,
Like,
that's the
goddamn.
third one that has said that.
So all three
Yeah.
psychics called out the red hair.
Yeah,
resemblance.
all of them did because I made sure to like remember that.
Yeah.
Because then when she brought it up again, when I said I got touched, and she was like, "Well, because you look like her," I was like, "Oh, you did already say that."
I'll never
in the
be
other-
over the way she was like, yeah, well, like you look like her.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh,
As
shit.
so
damn.
casual, like as if
Yes.
she just knew. It's
Yeah.
like, what?
She's talking about the victim though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So that means, just so it's not confusing, S.K. Pierce's first wife had red hair, and this 16-year-old girl had red hair.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
that's
just wanted
why
to say that.
thinking that it's not SK upstairs with Patty, like you're saying, and it's actually the guy who did it.
That's
Makes
why I
sense.
thought that. Exactly. Once we got to that. So
Because
then we,
that would mean we're getting into mommy issues here. His mom had red hair and his mistress did.
well, that makes sense because to kill, you usually have mommy issues.
Oh, dang. So did you just give away who the murder was too, if you guys remember? Yeah, I mean, that's what we asked.
I mean, we're about to be there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we thought, some of us thought it was Edward, right?
I thought it was Edward.
You thought it was Edward. I initially felt
Who's
Frank.
the youngest?
You felt Frank.
And the
Yeah.
reason why we got that is because Patty originally had confirmed that it was part of the family, but it wasn't SK. And we knew it was a girl that was murdered, and we got from Dylan that it was a lover or a mistress.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was
So
like
we were
a
like,
dark
okay, so
romance
if
going
there
on.
was a murderer, it had to be a guy, and it had to be a part of the family that lived at the house. So there's only really three suspects at that point. And so that's why we're down to like those two.
So we asked if it was Edward, it was a no. We asked if it was Frank, and it was a yes. And that's actually interesting because that goes back to something Patty said when she was saying like she wasn't sure if it was one of the brothers. She felt like it was like a distant family member. But I almost wonder if she got that feeling because like SK built the mansion for his wife, but then she passed away and like barely lived there. And then he married Ellen and had 2 kids. So that was kind of like a new family. And Frank was on the outskirts of that. So I do wonder if that's why Patty got that feeling.
The stepbrothers.
He
yeah.
felt
Yeah.
outcasted.
Yeah.
And he also didn't get any like partaking in like the
estate.
mansion and the
Right.
estate. So it's like, okay, he's also outcasted there.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Damn.
Then we started diving deep into like, okay, well then who was Frank as a person?
Yes.
And this is when we stopped the yes or no questions and actually started getting details. And every single one was like, this guy sucks.
Yeah.
Literally.
bad.
It was like
he's
the
a
lovers in
serial
reverse.
cheater.
Yep.
He's a cheater. He had like, just a bad past. He got into trouble a lot, which is really, really interesting because at the beginning, Patty was saying that she believes that whoever did it, whoever had killed this girl, had a past.
Like
Yeah.
a checkered
of
past.
Maybe killing again, but definitely a troubled past where
Yeah.
they had, dabbled and maybe got in trouble with the law, those types of things. So again, another overlap of,
Yeah.
of the multiple psychics.
And that he had like chances to be a better person along the way, but he chose not to.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was interesting.
And then we got kind of into the motive for killing. And we actually, I think we asked Kathleen, did whoever this was know you were pregnant? And she said no, they didn't. And that basically we found out that it seemed like she was just going to make their relationship public.
She was going to expose it to the wife.
She was going to expose it to the wife, and that's when they came up with this plan to murder her.
And going back to Dylan, he threw the frog on its back,
Yeah.
which is fertility symbol.
Yup.
It all makes sense.
All of it does.
And
It was
he
nuts.
kept saying, like, there's a dark romance here.
Yeah.
Like, there's
Yeah.
some kind of dark romance. Like, I don't...
So with Patty, we understood like who the killer was. It had to be part of the family, and that there was some sort of like darker entity there. And then with Dylan, we understood like the nuance of the killing. Like it was a mistress who like, you know, got found out by the wife. And then with Ashley, we found out the name and then like how it all went down. So
Yeah.
it was like all the different pieces of the puzzle with 3 different psychics. It was really interesting.
And they never met each other. We have to say that.
That's
to that
the
point,
crazy
yeah.
part.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by SoFi, the all-in-one finance app where you can bank, borrow, and invest all in one place. Let's talk about bank accounts for a second. The average bank savings rate is 0.39% in interest. You're earning pennies on your savings, and it doesn't have to be that way. But with SoFi's high-yield checkings and savings, the money barely making moves sitting in your savings account can earn over 8 times the national average savings rate with eligible direct deposit. No account or overdraft fees. We love transparency. You can get your paycheck up to 2 days early, plus get up to a $300 welcome bonus when you sign up with eligible direct deposit. Sign up for SoFi checking and savings at SoFi.com/morbid. SoFi checking and savings is offered through SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms apply.
Getting scared is one thing. Getting a thrill is, well, you want more of those in your life. The Genesis GV70 is built to thrill, baby. A thrilling yet elegant design always makes driving the GV70 an exciting adventure. Its powerful athletic stance screams performance and turns heads. Everybody's looking at you, girl, or boy, or whoever. Command the road and experience a class-leading standard 300 horsepower. Oh my God. Plus, discover the different dynamic drive modes for all different terrains. Choose between the different terrain modes for whatever road conditions you may encounter. The Genesis GV70's award-winning technology and performance lets you drive with comfort and drive with confidence all at the same time. It's an exciting SUV with intuitive tech that can make your ride smooth even when the road isn't. And its blind spot cameras allow you to see what's next to you. It's like having eyes on the side of your head. That's pretty iconic. Its performance, by the way, is measured not only in power, but in how it makes you feel confident, sexy. The Genesis GV70. Learn more at genesis.com and feel the GV70. The best summer pieces are the ones you end up wearing on repeat. Comfortable, versatile, and somehow right for almost every occasion. Quince makes it easy to create a summer wardrobe that you'll love, with elevated essentials made from premium materials like European linen, organic cotton, and washable silk, without the traditional retail markup. I love that! Quince's 100% European linen pants, dresses, and tops are the pieces that you absolutely will reach for all summer long. I absolutely love their linen. I have so many pairs of their linen pants, which you can dress up or you can dress down in the summer. Like, say you're going to a nice dinner, you can pair it with like a silk shirt, a really cute necklace, some good, makeup and an updo. Or if you're just looking for a more casual look, you can do the linen pants with like a loose button-up shirt and you still look really chic, kind of like, I don't know, Diane Keaton vibes, I kind of think. Also, it's not just apparel. Quince also offers elevated essentials for your home, from bedding and bath to kitchen essentials and furniture. They have it all, honey. I am a big lover of Quince, and I really do think you will be too. Make your summer wardrobe feel easier. Go to quince.com/morbid for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/morbid for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/morbid.
So then we ended it on
reuniting
the Estes method in the basement with all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one I'm so interested to watch back.
I'm so interested
yeah.
too because we were
guys
blindfolded
didn't
and
get
had
to-
headphones on.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, Colby and Ash did had the actual headphones on.
Yeah,
So
the
they
whole
didn't get to
SS
hear
method
each
is
other.
about sensory deprivation. So not only were they blindfolded, they also couldn't hear anything, and all they were hearing was the static of a spirit box go through, and possibly some words through the radio. And so you didn't understand our whole conversation, but me and Elena and the three psychics were asking questions, and it was a full-on conversation that you guys were collaborating on. It wasn't like you were telling a different story than Colby.
That's
Yeah.
It was
crazy.
like it was like Colby would say something, and then Ash would follow up, and everything would make sense together.
It was
Yeah.
shocking.
The only thing I ever heard was just you guys going, oh!
Because
I couldn't hear
constantly, like,
Colby. I couldn't hear the questions you were asking. I just heard I was like,
When we
oh
would
damn,
yell
they're
in
freaking out.
Because at one point you said stop, and then Colby said recording.
That's so
And we
crazy.
were like, oh, and then I think
Yeah.
at one point you said stop, and he said now.
I got
Yeah.
so many stops
And then,
at the end
bye
specifically.
and
Yeah, and then
everything.
bye. It was just saying bye.
You
Yeah.
said something about
Time.
time, and then you said eternal
No,
or
that
something.
was the weirdest one because it was the same idea that you both were just piggybacking off of each other back and forth. It was
It's like
it was
time,
forever,
always, eternal,
always.
forever.
And you just kept going back and
Yeah.
different words for forever. It was forever, always, eternal, never ending. And you each one of you would do one, and I was like, oh, how is this happening?
How did you feel during that when that was all happening?
I felt like I was kind of in a little bit of a trance. My
felt
head
that
was
way
down
too.
a little bit, and yeah, I just kind of like a dream state.
Yeah,
in a
it
way.
felt I felt weirdly almost like I was spinning,
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't dizzy, if that makes sense.
Right, yeah, almost like a drowsy kind of, I'm not here right now.
Yeah, it was
feeling.
heady for sure. It was weird.
And at one point, one of you said "you're mine," and then the other one said repeated it or said something similar to it.
Damn.
And we kept trying to get what that was. We were like, "Who is?"
It happened
What's
so
going on?
fast that I don't remember the words that
Yeah.
came up. But
Yeah, it's
I
a
mean,
lot.
especially when you don't know what they were answering.
Yeah.
But what was really interesting about the whole thing was when we were talking at the first half, it was keep my secret, those
Yep.
types of things. I don't want this stuff out. The main gist of our conversation was now we figured it out. What's going to happen? It was just no, don't do this. Get out. It was really again, protecting the image. The
yeah.
image, always protecting the image.
was
What
a
was
running
interesting is 3/4 of the way through, it kind of changed energies. It was almost
Yeah.
like something else came in, and the psychics were like,
I
this
don't
is a
know
little
about this one.
darker.
Yeah.
And that's when you were like,
remember
you're
that.
mine. It was like,
Yeah.
oh God,
I was
okay,
like,
well, do we
okay.
want to be messing with
Oh
this?
God.
that's
Oh,
messed
no.
up.
So we think we made contact with not only the Pierce family, but also whatever is said to be this non-human entity in the
Yeah.
basement, which
Yeah.
is really interesting. The psychics were actually freaked out about
They
this.
were,
They were like,
and
we-
all their things were going crazy. They were doing a pendulum and they were doing
Yeah.
all kinds
Bells.
they
of
were
things.
doing a bunch of tools.
Yeah,
That's great. I'm so excited to see it.
I know. I can't wait to see that.
I can't wait to watch.
I
that
told
one.
Drew that when I got home too. I was like, I can't wait to show this to you.
I know because I was like, you didn't get to see it.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
I know.
It was funny because all the psychics obviously are very, very into all this. They live and breathe the paranormal just as much or more than we do, and all of them were like, we have never seen an SS method
Yeah.
like this.
They all said it. They were the fact that they were intelligently kind of piggybacking off of each other is not something that happens.
They were walking away in awe.
Yeah,
and at the
wow. They were
end,
shocked.
I think it was 4 or more times you guys said stop, and they were the ones that were like, guys, we
they were
should
telling us
stop.
we should
And we're like,
stop,
what?
and
You
we're
guys are the psychics.
We're like, one more question.
Damn.
Please.
No, I remember toward the end, I was getting a little freaked out because it just kept saying stop, and I
Yeah,
was
you
like,
said it a few times.
and the voice that was coming through was like, stop,
Ugh.
scary. Yeah.
yeah.
And it was
like
getting
it.
more intense every time. So I was about to tap out when whoever tapped me, and I jumped out of my skin when
Yeah.
whoever tapped me.
Oh yeah, my bad.
No, it's all good. But it was, that was crazy.
It was
It
a
was
wild
funny.
one.
Yeah. The spirits definitely did not want us to talk about this secret, but I don't know if I don't know who exactly
Yeah.
was saying don't tell the secret. But what
Yeah.
they were okay with is they were like, okay, if you think that Kathleen, this spirit that might be still there that had a pretty rough ending to her life, wanted to leave this place, you guys could help her. escape.
Yeah.
And so we decided, let's end the night. Let's cleanse everybody in there, and then we'll have Ashley, who's like practiced in like getting rid of spirits and letting them move on, like do some sort of like ritual, like a cleansing ritual to let the spirit go, which I think was pretty beautiful.
Yeah.
It was really, really cool. Yeah, she did a giant banishing ritual. It was probably like 4 a.m. at this
Yeah,
point,
at least.
4:30
Yeah, we
maybe.
left at like 3:45, I think.
Yeah.
Like our producers took like everybody else like back home. You guys drove, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But like, this was insane.
This is funny.
So fucking funny.
And we don't even know this.
Yeah,
part.
we have no idea anything.
Ashley told us that it was against like her code and her like order, I guess you could say, for us to like include like the audio because it was so like crazy of this banishing ritual of what she was saying.
Okay.
But she let us film it. And basically Sam was filming and I was tasked with holding like another sort of shell thing with a bunch of like, I don't even know what it was, like an herb in there. And then
Was
there
it the
offerings
pine
and
needles?
stuff. Yeah, pine
that she gave you?
needles and also something else.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like a whatever. It was like a big herb or whatever that would help banish. Kathleen, I guess, or like save her. And
Banish is a crazy word.
Get out of here,
Get
Kathleen.
out, Kathleen.
No, help her. Yeah.
but then there was like a little rock like in the middle of it that she was like, and then at the end, you're just gonna stick. I had like a flame and like kind of like a punk or whatever. And she was like, you're going to stick that into the rock and it's going to like make a little boom.
Oh my God, I would be freaking out.
That's how we ended.
She just described it as like a pop. She's like, don't worry, it's not going to be not crazy, but just it's going to be a little pop.
Like a little pop. And so I was like, okay, like sounds good. I'm just going to light this herb and then pop it at the end. And so we're there for like probably 5 minutes and she's doing like reading from a book and like.
Which was very intense, by the way.
Yeah. Oh,
I
like
bet.
screaming into the furnace, and it
my
was like
God.
really intense.
Even when she blessed us, I was terrified.
Yeah.
She like blessed us so that nothing would follow us home, and even that was scary. And I got holy water in my eye.
Oh, man.
I was so thankful for it.
I was so
I didn't
thankful
feel
for
like
it.
anything
Thank you.
followed me.
your eye is
Appreciate it.
protected.
I know we're good over here.
But yeah, without giving away like what she said or whatever, for her sake, basically it was my turn to light this thing on fire.
Oh no.
And I was trying to do it and I couldn't get it to work. I had like the punk and I was like, and she was like, come on, Colby.
Come on, we're doing a ritual here.
God damn it, come on. And she was like, like whoever we were talking to, like doesn't want you to do it. I'm going to do it. So I was like, okay. She grabs it from me. And then obviously first try, she does it. This thing did not.
It's not a pop, dude.
Is
This
it like
was
an
a firework.
explosion? Oh my God.
This was like it like went up in flames for like 5 seconds.
It knew you weren't prepared. It was like Colby is gonna freak out with this.
She was gonna make me do that.
Picture a flare, like a road
Damn.
flare. Like that's how
Damn.
intense it was.
And you're like,
Yeah,
We are
and,
in a
like,
house.
I know we got this on camera. We're still debating if we want to even like include this in like the main channel video or not. So this could be something that's just exclusive for you guys. We don't know.
Oh God, I'm dying to see this.
I cannot wait.
I know the camera was pointing at me because Sam was filming. Smoke just went everywhere, and I look up and I'm like, because
The smoke detectors were right
Yes.
there. Even when she had the incense going, I was like
so
looking
nervous
at them.
about that.
and so you guys can imagine what happened next.
They
my
went off.
God.
Every alarm in the entire house started beep, and it was like
my
fire.
fear.
It was blaring loud
Oh,
through all
no.
3 levels of the house.
Did like the caretakers come?
Nobody came. Like the fire department didn't show up.
was
Like nobody
fine.
came.
How'd
like,
you
we
turn
were-
them off? They just turned off on their own?
We ran upstairs and there was like a panel that said fire control or something like
Okay.
that. And so
Oh
we were
my
trying to click
God.
reset, but it wouldn't work.
Stop.
And so we went and we just ran around the basement. We found a fan and turned it on, and then like was just fanning the fire.
Oh my
Fan
the
God.
smoke.
The smoke.
And yeah, it
my
eventually
God.
like after like probably 5-10 minutes.
It was at least 10 minutes.
That must have been so
Crazy.
overwhelming too, because
Okay.
they're so loud.
That was my fear with the incense
Same.
because I was looking up and I'm like, if those go off, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind.
be
just 'cause I'm gonna be so
overstimulating.
overstimulated.
It was
and I'm gonna be
bad.
like, get me out of this space.
It was
Yeah.
so loud.
I've never seen, and Ashley, if you're listening, sorry about this. It's just so funny. Like I've never seen like Ashley so like scared. Like, she like looked at me and she was like, "What do we do?"
Yeah.
And I was just
She like sprinted upstairs.
we're like, okay, we're just don't panic, like sort of a thing, because it was kind of like a, what do we do?
Yeah.
Like, these
Yeah.
won't shut off. We thought the fire department was gonna
Oh my God.
come.
Can you imagine? So
Like,
did you
hey.
finish? Did you get to finish the ritual?
It was done like that.
Oh, that was
last
the
pound
end.
was the end of
So you finished with a bang.
Yeah.
exactly.
How was
Literally.
Kathleen? She was like, I'm out of here.
That was a big deal.
She's like, I'm out of here, and you guys should too. If
Get out. That's so funny.
And that was it. Like we did our own
Holy
cleansing
shit.
afterwards and left the house. That was it.
Nice.
That is bonkers. I'm dying to see that.
I know.
so
It's
funny.
just like if 4 a.m. and 3 people are running around frantically, like, what are we doing? It's so loud in here.
That's so funny.
Because especially being in the basement, that would have sent me into
Yeah. Oh,
orbit.
yeah.
Like
I probably would have like climbed out the barred windows.
Yeah, literally.
and figured a way out.
I was so on edge in that basement. Like
Yeah.
that basement did not feel good.
It's creepy.
No,
and
it's
especially
got
after
bad
being
vibes.
touched in that basement, if those alarms went off, I think I would have died.
Yeah.
I would have just went into cardiac
It was
arrest.
like 4:30 a.m. You guys saw the street. It was kind of like a
Yeah.
semi-busier street
Yeah.
in the small town. And so we were like afraid that everybody around there
Yeah.
could like hear.
Yeah.
It was loud.
Oh
So
my
funny,
God.
Damn.
But we're good.
We
They
got
turned out.
cleansed
Yeah.
as well and dipped out of there. So hopefully Kathleen is good.
I know. I hope so. I'm interested to see like if the caretakers like experience anything
Yeah.
like that
different.
makes it
Different
feel
after.
like different. That makes it feel like she's
Still
moved
there.
on.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because Ashley's cleansing felt like it worked. Because
I
I didn't
think so.
feel like I was followed. I thought I was going to come in the house because it was 5 a.m. at
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah.
And it was like pitch black in my house and it's like dead quiet. And I'm like, now I have to walk upstairs in like the pitch black. And like, I'm scared. I
It's
wasn't even
so-
freaked out. It was weird.
No, I was just gonna say
Yeah.
it's so funny because usually when we get home from things,
Yeah.
I like stay up a little bit longer and kind of like
Decompress.
and like I'm freaked out usually and like on edge. I was not at all.
No.
In fact, you slept for 12 hours.
I literally slept.
You knocked.
I got home at 5:15. I ate some spaghetti. I went upstairs and I slept until 4 p.m. Drew was like, "Are you dead?" I was like, "No,
No,
sorry."
it's just the ghost.
I
Yes.
chugged some water and then got woken up an hour later by my youngest.
Oh,
Yeah.
I could not imagine.
Like, damn.
But you went back for a little
I
bit.
did. John was like, go to sleep.
Yeah.
How did that like change the way that you guys think about psychics?
I'm still a firm believer.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
I think I still feel the same way where it's like most of them
Yeah.
are, I think, not right, but I think we got a
We got
crop
3
of real
goodies.
ones. Like, I was like,
Yeah.
wow, how did we manage to grab 3 that like, because they made so much sense, all their stories.
Yeah.
It just didn't feel put on at all.
Definitely.
Like when every single one after we left them or they left us, I was like, holy shit. Like that person was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when we left Ashley at the end, I was like, Ashley's like the coolest girl I've ever
Yeah,
met. I was
she's
like, she's
awesome.
such a badass.
100%.
Like
Just,
you
like,
could
opening
feel
her
it
book.
off of her. I was like, damn.
Yeah, she's like opening her book and like reading in other languages, and then the blessing. She's just like saying all these. I was
Yeah.
like, "You're the coolest person ever."
Yeah, I was so
she's
impressed by
awesome.
her.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And she's like accurate 100%
Yeah.
of the time. Like all the tarots that we've done in previous videos with her all come true.
I know. I want her to like come
crazy.
do a tarot
I
reading
know. I'm
with
like,
us.
Ashley, come back.
Yeah,
You should.
All of them,
Yeah.
though. We were like, all of them. I loved them.
yeah. They were all
Yeah.
great in their own ways. Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
We were talking about this on the way over, but in terms of psychics, would you guys, if you knew, like, let's say, like, all these psychics are real, would you want to know your future?
I'd want to know some good things, but I wouldn't want to know like when I'm gonna die or anything like that.
What do you think your question would be if you got, like, one question about your life from, like, these psychics?
Because I don't think I would want to know my
Anything?
future. No.
Nothing?
Wow.
I just want to.
You just want to live.
I think it's
Float
playing
through.
God a little bit. I'm
Yeah.
Christian, so I'm like,
I get that.
I just don't want to, like, I just want to kind of take it as it comes. So I think if I know, I'm going to be crazy. Like, I'm going to be like trying to prepare for it or trying to make something happen. But yeah, I don't think I would want, I think I would just, I'm trying to think of what the question would be.
I know
that
one
would want
question
to
is
know.
like this is like 2 truths and a lie again.
Exactly.
I'm like, hold on.
Well, I mean, if you don't want to know maybe certain things, maybe asking like, what's one thing I could change about my future
Yeah.
or something
Yeah.
that like
That would
I
probably be
need
a
to
good
prepare
question.
for or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Or, like,
something
what's
about,
the
like-
happiest, like, what's a happy thing that's going to happen in the future? Just like, I
Yeah,
want to know
That's
just
just
that.
one good thing.
One good thing later in life I
Yeah.
can look forward to or something.
Yeah.
you know?
Like, that would be nice to know.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of real psychics and mediums, like, it seems to be like a thing among them. Like, the more accurate they are,
They'll tell you
tell
all of
you if I'm going to tell you anything, I'm going to tell you the good and the bad. Like, you can't pick. Like my husband's family, like they're like one of his like great aunts was like a well-known psychic and like helped in police investigations and stuff in Massachusetts.
And she was the way she was born.
Yeah, there's this like old wives' tale or like some lore with psychics that if you're born with like a veil of like almost
Ectoplasm.
like goo, you're born like veiled almost. Like there's
like goop in your face.
That means you are like you have the gift. And she was born that way. And she would only tell you everything. So she would say, like, I won't tell you.
Like, you can't cherry pick.
I won't tell you anything if you're not willing to hear everything. And so,
It's
like,
good that she'd tell people that up front,
Yeah.
though, before they, like, sat down and got into it. And she's like, well, and you're going to die in 3 days.
So his grandmother was like, yeah, I don't want to know anything. Like, I don't want to hear that.
Interesting.
But, like, some people wanted to hear things, and the things came true.
It's kind of like a mental fuck.
Yeah.
To me, at least.
That's
Like,
the
I just
thing.
don't want to know. Like, I'd rather just live my life.
That's the thing. I just want to.
It's going to happen anyway, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So might as well not, like, worry about it.
Yeah. It's hard to choose if you would want to know or not.
Yeah, I don't
I
think
feel like if
would.
you had to know everything versus nothing, definitely know nothing.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like if I cherry pick a question, like that would be
Yeah.
interesting.
I agree. Yeah.
You know?
For sure.
Yeah. If I could cherry pick, I would do that question. Like, what's one really great thing that's going to happen?
Does Ashley, she tells you the good and the bad, or?
Yeah.
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 We've got some tarot readings that are good and bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not going like too personally in this, but when I met you guys, I had cancer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I had cancer, and so like I don't. Obviously, I'm not like expecting you guys to remember this, but my face was really swollen. I was like dealing with like a lot of like acne skin issues, and I've never like dealt with that in my entire life. And so something was wrong, like my body was reacting, and I had no idea what was going on. And the month that I got diagnosed, which was in January of 2023, Ashley came over for the first time, did a tarot card reading, and was just like, this looks really bad. Like you're about to go through like one of the scariest moments of your life.
Holy
Wow.
shit.
I knew that you had gone through that, but I didn't realize it was like when we met you. That's crazy.
God.
She said
2
that
weeks
before.
before said that was going to
2
happen.
weeks before.
Yeah.
Holy
and
shit.
the next 6 months was like a horrible, like
Yeah, of course.
scary experience. But yeah, for both of us.
What was wild is she called it for 6 months. She said it'll be about the next half a year
Wow.
until you're better, and you were
Cancer free.
cancer free halfway through 2023.
Yeah, like June.
Wow.
June
That
like
is
announced in July,
incredible.
but like May, June-ish, I was
Holy
cancer free.
shit.
And so, yeah, that's why personally, I'm like, I'd rather not know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because how did you
Yeah.
feel hearing that
Yeah.
before realizing you were sick?
Sorry, Ashley, I didn't know if I believed it. I was
get-
just
no,
like,
I
oh,
get
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I like, I was like, okay, whatever. That could be like cool for like the YouTube video or whatever. And then like my life started unfolding literally 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, this, or at least like she is real. And like ever since then, I was like, okay, I'll do tarot card readings and stuff for videos and like to talk about like ghost hunting and stuff like that.
But not for personal stuff.
No, I
get
don't like
that.
doing it personal anymore.
I don't blame
That's
you.
a lot to take in. And
Yeah.
especially when it
Scary.
comes true, it's like, okay.
Yeah,
I don't want to know
You're
that.
like, I'll
exactly.
just cross that bridge when I
Yeah.
get
Like,
there.
I'm good on that.
How do you feel, Sam? Are you like doing tarot only for videos, or will you do it personally too?
I've never gotten any psychic reading or anything like that outside of the video thing, but I'm
Okay.
okay with doing it in videos. I mean, when we did our series for our school where we stayed a whole week at our school, we actually had Ashley come out and read tarot about the school and our process of opening that for ghost investigations. And what was crazy is everything, the good and the bad, was correct as well with that. And even down to weird things like business licenses and things like
Yeah.
that. She was
Really?
like discussing like how that process is going to work, and it played out exactly how she expected it. And I was like, what? Like, how do you know these
Yeah.
things? It's really, really wild.
Yeah.
She was saying like specifically, like she was like, there's a principal entity here, which we had already known and like investigated and stuff like that, and told us exactly like, yeah, he's not evil, he's not a bad guy, but he's very strict and cares a lot about like his school. And so when you guys take over, you guys are going to have some like issues with like licensing and like the city around it. And we did like on the back end, everything is great now. But she predicted that. And we didn't even know that was going to happen until like 2 months later.
Yeah. How would
That's
you
crazy.
ever know?
Crazy.
And one thing that you'll see too that we didn't even mention was we had in the beginning of the SK Pierce investigation, we had asked for a word.
Oh, we didn't even touch on that.
Yeah.
And Ashley, especially, the word was rib.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
we just did like a random word generator too.
Yeah.
It's not even like it was planned beforehand. And we asked her specifically, is there like a word that the spirits are telling you? And she just asked for how many letters.
Yeah.
And it was 3 letters, obviously. And how many 3-letter words are there in the
Yeah,
English
a
language?
bajillion.
A billion. And she immediately starts doing the tarot cards, and she throws one down and says R. And I was
Yeah.
like, what are the odds of that?
Yeah.
And then
she
in the
said
middle,
I.
she was saying I.
Yeah.
And I think we were all like, I was like, is she about to say rib right now?
Yeah.
I would have lost
R.I.
my shit.
And I think she was like unsure of the last one, but I was like, I feel like you know it.
I think
Like,
she
I feel like
did.
you know it, but something's trying to like scramble you or something.
Like rig or something like that, but
Yeah.
not rib. And I
What
was
are
like,
the
how?
odds?
How?
That
Yeah.
she got R and I.
Yeah.
Out of
It's
all.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that blew my mind.
Even just the R would have blown my mind. When she went to
Literally.
the I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, even Patty, though, when she walked in, she grabbed her stomach and she started
did.
talking about her belly.
I was waiting
And I was
for
like,
her
you're
to say
about to say
something.
rib.
I was
Like,
like looking at you guys like,
As
Yeah.
soon as she like got that, I was like, what?
Yes.
What part of your body hurt? And so she was
Specifically.
like, great, I don't know, great ear. I was like, damn.
what is
Yeah.
It
this?
was like
Say it.
really crazy.
Yeah, that blew my mind.
We're still also just full disclosure, like debating whether we are going to put that in our channel or not. So that could be an exclusive. But yeah, it is really, really cool
Yeah.
just for people to know that like we did that experiment.
Yeah, it was like a personal extra test because
Yeah.
like obviously the main goal was understanding the unsolved mystery, but it was really cool to like have this like isolated test with
Yup.
the spirits that had
Just to
nothing
see.
to do with the house at all, what they could pick up, and that Ashley
wild.
thing like. I don't know. When she was like R.I., I was literally shaking.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was
Yeah.
like, oh God, what is happening?
please.
What is
we're like,
happening?
B, B.
So close.
Yeah.
It was
It's crazy.
really amazing, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
incredible. But you need to see it all because this does not even do it slightly justice.
No, there's plenty of things that
Yeah.
are just on the video
You
that
can
we
hear the
haven't touched on.
sounds. You can see the bone throwing. Like that's
See
a
our
whole
facial
experience.
reactions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
facial
like, oh my
reactions.
God.
Colby like just going into his
Freaking out.
It was insane.
Yeah.
It was wild. And then
Nuts.
seeing the Estes method at the end is going to be so much fun to see.
I know.
You
Yeah,
have to
I'm
see that
excited.
for
See the
yourself.
full conversation.
Yeah, I'm excited to actually see it, you
Yeah.
know?
So definitely
so
check
cool.
it out on Sam and Colby's channel.
Thank you.
It'll be out right now as
Yeah.
this is out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
simultaneous release.
Yeah.
Same
brothers.
Yeah, same day. So go check it out.
Thanks for joining our experiment. That was so,
Thanks for having
good.
us.
So
So
awesome.
much fun.
So fun.
It was
Again,
awesome.
unlike anything we've ever done on the channel before.
It's
You
so
guys
fun.
got to experience it. Sick.
We're always down to Ghost Town.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it
Anytime.
more often.
Yeah,
Let's
say,
go.
let us know if you want a part 2.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for listening.
And we hope you keep listening.
And we hope you keep
It
weird, but not so weird that you don't go check out their video. Peace.
Hey!
Woo!
Hell yeah.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie, and one thing I've learned is that you buy a house, but you make it a home. Because with every fix, update, and renovation, it becomes a little more your own. So you need all your jobs done well. For nearly 30 years, Angie has helped millions of homeowners hire skilled pros for the projects that matter, from plumbing to electrical, roof repair to deck upgrades. So leave it to the pros who will get your jobs done well. Angie, the one you trust to find the ones you trust. Find a pro for your project at Angie.com.
Talk about regrets. We all know someone who's been in a car accident and said, I don't need to call a lawyer, only to regret it after their pain and damages were worse than expected. When someone hurts you, you deserve to be compensated fairly. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm, fighting for the people for over 35 years. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com/podcast. That's forthepeople.com/podcast. Their fee is free unless they win.